the action of the verb, so it's ignored in English. But when we consider that sometimes it's there when it shouldn't be there, sometimes it's missing when it should be there, we consider it's the first and the last letter of the Aleph Beit, that it's a representation of the word of Yahuwah our Elohim. So if we consider that it's a reference point for the word of Yahuwah, here we can consider the concept of the choice to stay true to the Torah and the instruction of Yahuwah Elohim, or to change the word according to our own mental faculties, and believe that we are restored and established by our manipulation of the word of Yahuwah. Did this happen with the northern kingdom? Well, yes. They manipulated the word to make it suit what they wanted them, well, to suit their belief system. It happened with the southern kingdom as well, that they manipulated the word to make it suit their belief system, because whereas Yisrael was consistent with kings that weren't going to worship the way Yehuda was worshiping, Yehuda went back and forth between good kings that did what was right in the eyes of Yahuwah and evil kings that did not do what was right. Sometimes they went and they took down everything from the high places. Sometimes they didn't. So it's how far into being obedient did Yehuda go? Again, the mental faculties get involved in all this. So, again, it's the concept of the choice to stay true to the Torah and the instruction of Yahuwah Elohim, or to change the word according to our own mental faculties, and believe that we're restored and established by our own manipulation of the word of Yahuwah. Do we do that? On a personal level, do we manipulate the word of Yahuwah our Elohim to make our situation work out? Do we shave off the puzzle piece because it doesn't fit so that it will fit? And if we're honest with each other, we have to answer yes. Yes. We will use Scripture to justify something that we shouldn't be justifying. Hopefully not so much, but if we're honest with each other, it is still something, because the carnal mind gets in the way. The mental faculties get in the way. The spiritual connection is lost. We cease to believe that Yahuwah Elohim exists because we're freaked out, wigged out, and stressed out about our situation. So we are also guilty of this on a personal level. Can we grow out of it? Yeah. The closer we get in our relationship with Elohim, the closer we get to understanding what the Torah is telling us, the closer we get to the word itself, the easier it is for us to not try to manipulate the word around our situation. But this idea will present itself again as we move forward. The next phrase is, "Yet will I bereave them, that there be not a man left." So the word used for this, okay, I guess I missed it. The word used for "yet will I bereave" is veshikaltim, that from the root shakol means not only to be bereaved, but also to go childless. It also means to be deprived and to be destroyed. So what we can consider from this idea is that the choice that is made, the choice that we make, or the choice that the children or the house of Israel is going to make, will affect B'nai. It's going to affect children being born. The restoration and the establishment that comes by and through adherence to the word of Yahuwah, or the destruction of it leading to the Adam being deprived of it. So there will not be a man left. It's not that in their times, yes, you're going to go into captivity, you're not going to be able to reproduce. First time we hear this amongst the prophets. They go into captivity and basically they intermarry, the tribes basically disappear, and there's not a man left, so to speak, that is from the original tribes, so to speak, the original bloodlines. Is it any different in the house of Yehuda? because after the revolt of Bar Kokhba in between 135 and 165, I get it confused. They put to death so many Jewish males, and the Romans raped so many Jewish women that they could no longer tell who the father of the infant was. So this is when the rabbis, in their great wisdom, turned the genealogy away from the father as it's stated in the Torah, even as it's stated in the beginning of Brit Hadashah. They said it's now going to be based on the mother. I mean, if the mother has the baby and the mother's Jewish, obviously the baby's Jewish. So, but we see this idea of that they were going to be totally wiped out from the face of the earth as a human existence. But what we can consider is, from a closer point of view, is that the ability to draw close to Yahuwah Elohim, the ability to have that relationship, is what's actually going to be erased. Okay, so there will not be a man left. If we grasp this concept, hopefully everybody grasps that concept, then the phrase, woe also to them when I depart from them, falls in line. What happens when we've severed that relationship? Well, obviously, I depart from them. Yahuwah Elohim separates himself. Yahuwah is not going to inhabit the praise that goes to another deity. And that's part of the first three commandments. He says, I'm Yahuwah your Elohim. You will have no other deity before me. I'm the main one. You don't put any other deities in my place. So we understand that our Elohim inhabits the praise of his people, right? So verse 13, Ephraim, like as I have seen Zor, is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the slayer. So we can see that topically, okay, if you have children that are born, where are they going to be born? They're going to be born into captivity. The same thing that happened with Pharaoh, where the male children were to be put to death. The same thing is going to happen. Your children are going to be into captivity, and someone else is going to be deciding who lives and who dies. But that's a topical consideration. We've considered Ephraim to mean fruitfulness. The name Zor, we often see it as Tyre in our other Bibles, means a rock. The root of this word is zur, that means to be confined, to be bound up, to be besieged, to be treated as an adversary, and to delineate. In other words, to go in a direction away from the path. If you have a line, a delineation from that line is when that line curves one way or the other. It no longer goes straight. So false worship of the house of Yisrael had caused its fruitfulness to become stifled. It became bound up in its delineation from the path of the Torah, and as a result, Yisrael became an adversary to not only Yahuwah their Elohim, but to the truth of the Torah. They became comfortable with their system of belief, and as a result, they were, in their eyes, planted in a pleasant place. I have my religion. My religion is truth. I'm comfortable with my religion. I'm not going to bother to find out why I believe what I believe. I'm just going to accept it, and it's okay. Okay? Helical time would produce the exact same scenarios in both Judaism and Christianity. We asked a question, why do we believe what we believe? The last verse is self-explanatory. Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the slayer. If teshuvah is not made and the path corrected, any perceived fruitfulness And the false perception of being restored and established in a relationship with Yahuwah Elohim will be destroyed in the end. And we have a number of doctrines that are very comfortable doctrines. They tickle the ears. People cringe when I bring this up when I'm teaching Christian groups, but I say the rapture is one of them. Well, he's going to rapture the church, and we're all going to go and be with Jesus while this tribulation thing is going on. So to rapture means to take something up. Okay, you're going to take something up into heaven, the place where the atom doesn't belong, but you're going to take up something that does things that are totally and completely contrary to the Torah. You're going to do something that's steeped in idolatry, paganism, and that says that you no longer have to live by that old law because Jesus did away with all of it, even though that's not what Yahusha said. So we get this idea here that they're planted in a pleasant place. We're planted in a pleasant place until we start to question why we believe what we believe. And, you know, I don't really get too much into the Gnostic Gospels because I think they're a bunch of nonsense that were written a little bit too late to be of any value to anybody. But Yahusha, if Yahusha said this in the book of Thomas, it's a wonderful thing. He says, when you discover truth, at first, you're going to be troubled by it. But once you figure out that it is truth and you've done the research, then you're going to be astonished. I don't know, astonished at what? Astonished that it is truth? Or astonished maybe that you were foolish enough to depend on your mental faculties to lead you away from a relationship with Yahuwah Elohim based on his Torah. So, I know it's kind of short. Everybody's probably happy. Oh, only 3 pages, not 20 pages. But I guess with that we can say with a lot of confidence that grooviness has been achieved. And I'll ask those wonderful, faithful questions.